The Bennington monster, a cryptid that has been part of local legend since the 19th century, continues to generate occasional reports from hikers and residents in the area. Joseph Citro, the paranormal researcher who coined the term Bennington Triangle, documented numerous accounts of the creature in his investigations of Vermont folklore. Historical newspaper reports from the late 1800s and early 1900s describe encounters with a large, bipedal creature that witnesses claim to see in the forests around Glastonbury Mountain. These reports follow patterns typical of Bigfoot-type sightings found throughout North America, with witnesses describing a tall, hairy humanoid figure that fled when detected. The Bennington monster sightings have remained remarkably consistent over the decades, with witnesses typically reporting brief glimpses of a large, dark figure moving through dense forest areas. Most encounters occur during early morning or late evening hours when lighting conditions make detailed observation difficult. The creature is usually described as standing between 7 and 8 feet tall, covered in dark hair, and moving with a distinctive gait that suggests bipedal locomotion. Local folklore includes stories passed down through generations of Vermont families who have lived in the area for decades. These accounts often describe the creature as elusive and generally avoiding human contact, appearing only briefly before disappearing into the dense forest. The consistency of these descriptions across different time periods and witnesses suggests that the reports may be based on encounters with an actual unknown animal, though no physical evidence has ever been verified by scientific analysis. Trail cameras have become increasingly popular among hunters and wildlife enthusiasts in recent years, leading to occasional claims of cryptid footage captured in the Triangle area. However, none of these recordings have been verified by wildlife biologists or other scientific authorities. The images typically show unclear figures at considerable distances, often partially obscured by vegetation or captured in poor lighting conditions that make definitive identification impossible. The Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department maintains that no evidence supports the existence of large, unknown mammals in the state's forests. Their position is that reported cryptid sightings likely represent misidentification of known animals such as black bears, which can appear bipedal when standing on their hind legs, or large humans wearing dark clothing who might be mistaken for something unusual in poor visibility conditions. Wildlife biologists point out that Vermont's forests have been extensively studied and monitored for decades, with comprehensive surveys of animal populations conducted regularly by state and federal agencies. The absence of physical evidence such as hair samples, tracks, or remains that can be scientifically verified suggests that cryptid reports represent misidentification rather than encounters with unknown species. Despite the lack of scientific verification, Bennington monster sightings continue to be reported occasionally by hikers and residents. These reports typically follow the same pattern as historical accounts, with witnesses describing brief encounters with a large, dark figure that quickly disappears into the forest. The reports often occur in areas where the Triangle's dense forest canopy and challenging terrain could easily conceal wildlife or create conditions where normal animals might appear unusual to startled observers. Some researchers suggest that the persistence of cryptid reports in the Triangle may be related to the area's reputation for unusual phenomena. The psychological effect of knowing about the area's history of disappearances and strange occurrences might make visitors more likely to interpret normal wildlife encounters as something extraordinary. This psychological priming could explain why cryptid sightings continue to be reported in the Triangle while being relatively rare in other Vermont wilderness areas with similar terrain and wildlife populations. The folklore surrounding the Bennington monster has become intertwined with the Triangle's broader reputation for mysterious occurrences. Local tour guides and paranormal enthusiasts often include cryptid stories as part of the area's supernatural heritage, alongside accounts of the famous 5 disappearances and other unexplained events. This cultural context helps maintain interest in cryptid reports, even though none have been scientifically substantiated. Modern technology has not provided the definitive evidence that cryptid enthusiasts hoped it would. Despite the proliferation of smartphones with high-quality cameras and the widespread use of trail cameras throughout Vermont's forests, no clear, verifiable footage of unknown creatures has emerged from the Triangle. The absence of compelling photographic or video evidence, combined with the lack of physical specimens or remains, continues to limit cryptid reports to the realm of folklore rather than scientific fact. The Bennington monster remains part of the Triangle's cultural identity, representing one element of the area's reputation for unexplained phenomena. While these reports lack scientific verification, they contribute to the broader pattern of unusual claims associated with the region.